Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, depending on, I guess it's up to you to download the show and listen to it at your own leisure, at either the morning time, nighttime, good what have you. It's another beautiful night here, or morning,
or afternoon,
and it could be shitty out. I don't know.
All right, we're rolling, everybody. Just as a heads up, this is a entertainment comedy podcast, and in no means is intended as an educational one. So with that being said, if you're easily offended at comedy shows, movies, TV, or really any other medium of entertainment, please don't listen. If you're incapable of occasionally hearing something that contradicts your views without outright instinctually getting offended, please don't listen. I'm heavily of the idea that anything and everything can and should be made fun of and laughed at, as it takes away the power from those ideas being able to harm you and affect you in any way negatively. With that being said, welcome to the MERC Podcast, Episode 7. And right off the bat, we're just going to start off with our news segment in this situation. A lot of things to go over, but
it's time for another edition of Guess the News.
I have to know more information. I shouldn't have read just this headline. From the headlines that I've read, this man is innocent. He is the victim.
Man, these guys don't know shit.
And striking while the iron in the body is literally dead cold, the body of 1930s gangster John Dillinger is set to be exhumed. In better late than never, I guess. I don't even want to bother with this because anything that they find out is just going to be absolutely meaningless at this point. Does it usually take 80 years to determine that maybe they did something wrong when killing somebody? But nonetheless, I did actually want to use this as a perfect opportunity to introduce one of my favorite comedians, John Mulaney, describing a situation that is somewhat relating to this.
I also watched a show called Cold Case Files. On Cold Case Files, they solve old murders. And it's really interesting, because what I learned from it is that it was really easy to get away with murder before they knew about DNA. It was ridiculously easy. Like, what was even going on back then? What was a murder investigation like in 1935? One cop would just walk in and be like, "Detective, we found a pool of the killer's blood in that hallway." He would just be like, gross. Mop it up. Now then, back to my hunch. Look for clues. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll draw chalk around where the body is. That way we'll know where it was. A couple years ago, I saw this movie called Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. It was about old bank robbers and stuff. Here's how easy it was to get away with bank robbery back in the 30s. As long as you weren't still there when the police arrived, you had a 99% chance of getting away with it. To the point that, like, those old bank robbers, they take credit for the bank robberies. Like, they come running out of there and they're like, ha, and if anyone asks you, tell them it was Golden Joe and the Suggins gang. And then they, like, shoot Suggins into the side of the wall. It's like, what, were bullets free back then? And they don't even disguise themselves. They dress up for the bank robbery. They're rolling in there in, like, big suits and hats like they're going to church in Atlanta. They make a day of it.
Alrighty. So, of course, as you might have picked up on that was a bit edited and sped up, usually because YouTube sucks and they'd like to take down content and flag it and demonetize stuff. Not that means anything right now with the amount of views that I'm getting, but just to make sure that we could still keep on getting the product out to you guys, might have to do that. But rest assured, I always make sure to put my links for most of these things in the podcast description. So if you are curious and want to check any of that stuff out, by all means, feel free to check out the unedited versions of that. Now, in other news, we got to another topic that was kind of close to me in this, not close to me, but just caught my attention. Basically, the short end of this is just stop messing around in front of or near your smart devices, apparently. As noted last week, Apple is nosy and likes to listen to you as you mess around. And also, so does Amazon, apparently. So, with that being said, people, please stop messing around in front of your smart devices if you don't care about privacy. I mean, I'm pretty sure by 20, 30 years from now, everybody's going to have a sex tape. In news of music, movie, and other forms of media that's been catching my attention, I did just want to also use this as an opportunity to, on occasion, bring up some comedians that usually catch my attention. In this case, I was having a conversation with somebody and they didn't know who Mitch Hedberg was, and that kind of got to me. I mean, I like that guy. He's just a straight-up comedian, and here is, again, of course, an edited bit, but I will be sure to at least let you guys know that you can get this from one of his albums, Do You Believe in Gosh? Unfortunately, this is not available on YouTube, at least not one that I was able to find, but I'm pretty sure you can find his album on Spotify, as most comedians are usually on there.
You know Benihana? They twist their knives and throw them up and they fucking cups and shit. Get Benihana to go. It's totally pointless. You go pick it up. Did the dude do all that shit? Are you sure? Because if you didn't, I don't want it. I got a drive-thru restaurant by my house. They say, we'll get your fast food, drive-thru food to you in 30 seconds or less. That's too fucking fast, man. I didn't think they could top it. But you know what they did? Because the last time I was there, I saw a dude who looked like me eating what I was going to order.
And, of course, Mitch Hedberg. But I did actually want to bring to attention something else that did come to me was the recent episode of the Steve Austin Show where he had Hulk Hogan as his guest. And I personally didn't grow up in the generation where Hogan was the big deal. For me, it was Austin and The Rock. But, I mean, I never quite gravitated towards Hogan or his style, but when you find out how much of a fan he was and just the amount of suffering that he had to go through really puts a lot in perspective and gives me a lot of respect for him now. Much more so just knowing that he had to go through this type of stuff. And this is just an abridged version from the podcast that he did with Steve, in short of him going over his injuries.
I gimped around trying to pick up my recording bag, and I was stumbling a little bit, and he looked at me and said, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. It just takes me a while to get going sometimes." How are you feeling after everything that you've been through? Because I have been watching probably 6 hours of your matches, read everything about you, and watched all the beatings that you took, all the legs that you dropped. Got to hang around with you filming a kayfabe project, which we can't talk about yet, but it's soon to be released. And I got a chance to hang out with you about a month ago. So after everything that you've been through, just from a physicality standpoint, where are you?
Well, I got to kind of set it up first with a woe is me story, because everybody talks about the fake wrestling, and all that crazy word that they always say, but you do get hurt. We all know that. So the woe is me story goes, I started having my knees scoped many years ago. Right knee 4 times with a scope, left knee 4 times with a scope, and then I finally had them both replaced. Then I had both hips replaced. Then I went in for 1 back surgery, and it turned into having 9 back surgeries. And I actually wrestled The Rock with a knee replacement, a hip replacement. And then when I had the other knee and hip done, I kept going. So, I was still wrestling, but as soon as they cut on my back, it was game over. I was hoping that if they cut on my back one time, I'd have the fusion like Shawn Michaels and I could keep going. But the doctors that wanted me to have the fusion said, try everything else first. So I went to a place called Laser Spine. They cut on me 6 times, and they basically took me out of the game. They cut so much bone away, and things went awry after the first 6 surgeries. And then the last 3 surgeries, after they told my new wife, Jennifer, I'd never walk again after the 6th surgery, it took me 3 more 12-hour surgeries to get up on my feet and rolling again. I was down about 1.5 years. But all that being said, I'm pretty darn cool. I can't wrestle again, but I'm really cool other than this darn arthritis is kicking in. And I'm going to be 66 years old in a week. I still work out with weights, use lightweight, but my parents, before they passed away, when they were my age, their hands were crippled up like a sideshow freak. Their hands were crippled and swollen and everything like that. So, with the vitamins and then taking care of myself with organic food, I'm not there. But the main thing is the arthritis. I had no idea what that word really meant till you feel what it means. And boy, the arthritis is definitely something that changes the game. But I'm doing good, man. When I wake up in the morning, like when I told you I was going to meet you at 10:30, I backtrack about 3 hours because it takes me about 1.5 hours in the morning before I can stand up straight, completely straight. That's how long to get the blood flow and everything. So once I get standing up straight and I get a little momentum, I'm okay. But, things are good. If I could get rid of this darn arthritis, I think I'd be pretty well set. But all things considered, at my age, 66 years old, after what we've all been through, I think I'm doing pretty good.
So, I mean, damn. For sure, dude's been through a lot. But we now move on to on a related note of Hulk Hogan, onto the wrestling news, the Wrestle Recap. We start off on July 29, 2019 for Monday Night Raw, which was a mixed tag match involving Drake Maverick and Renee Michelle, defending champ R-Truth and Carmella, surrounded by several members of the roster, as this is for the 24/7 title. Truth was able to pick up the victory very quickly in this, retaining, but was then ganged up by several of the members outside of the ring. Ultimately, Mike Kanellis came up victorious, with the title running away from hordes of potential challengers. This then ended up with an awkward exchange with Maria, as she forced him to lay down for her so that she can get the pin on him and become the new and very pregnant 24/7 champion. On to the second match of the night, we have a gauntlet match where the victor earns a spot to be the number one contender for the U.S. title, currently being held by AJ Styles. To start off, Ray took on Cesaro. Ray picked up the victory there. Ray took on Sami Zayn. Ray picked up the victory there as well. And then Ray took on Andrade, in which Andrade won, but Ray lost his match for a short moment in this, therefore sparking up a feud for sure, keeping that going. Andrade was not able to pick up the victory against his next opponent, Ricochet, which then, of course, gives us our new number one contender. The OC, as they're now being billed, aka the Good Brothers, with, I guess, let's see if we have this ready and rolling to go.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, there we go. AKA Gallows and Anderson took on the Usos versus the defending champs, the Revival. With a great outcome, we have Gallows and Anderson picking up the win, and they are now, for the second time, your new Raw Tag Team Champions. The Viking Raiders took on some local talent of Johnny James and Cole Carter, so guess who won that one? In an odd way to squeeze in a commercial break, Becky Lynch took on Alexa Bliss, then Nikki Cross. Becky came out victorious on both of those accounts, but was then later attacked by Natalya for some revenge as Becky assaulted her earlier that night, noted on some pre-tape. Seth Rollins then defeated Dolph Ziggler via DQ as a result of Brock Lesnar interfering in his match for a brutal, much-needed beatdown to set the tone for both people, showing us why we love Lesnar when he is used correctly. And onwards to SmackDown July 30th. KO kicks off the show talking trash about Shane and then gets attacked by Drew McIntyre to set up for their match, which resulted in KO picking up the victory by use of a stunner. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross got the victory over the team of Bayley and Ember Moon. The Keen's Court segment, as the Keen has a guest with Trish Stratus, this then led to the setup for very rushed, in my opinion, but you know what? Wrestling. Charlotte Flair will be taking on Trish Stratus for SummerSlam. Dolph Ziggler was able to scrape a victory over Finn Balor as a result of the Fiend Bray Wyatt distracting Balor. Ali then took on Nakamura, and this was Ali's return to TV. He was able to pick up a victory in a great match, which will then, of course, set up for more coming in the future. The main event, champion versus champion, Kofi Kingston versus AJ Styles. Both team with their boys draped in gold. Kofi was able to pick up the win in an amazing Trouble in Paradise delivered to AJ in mid-springboard into the ring as he was attempting his phenomenal forearm. Also, we're trying to keep positive here and not critiquing. Roman was almost attacked by somebody who done it. And we now move on to 205 Live, as Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa get the win over the Singh brothers in their ongoing rivalry. A neat finish to that match, actually, as sliced bread number 2, then with the senton from Akira Tozawa. But we also had an odd matchup. Lince Dorado got the win over Arya Daivari via a quick roll-up. I'm all for it. Usually whenever we get matches that we don't have any other exposition beforehand. But way to go, Lince Dorado, on that. Drake Maverick was able to pick up a win over Mike Kanellis in an unsanctioned match. showing us why we were fans of Drake beforehand as Rockstar Spud. The dude can take a beating and sell, and was still able to scrape up a victory in this case. Now, for NXT on July 31st, we had Tyler Breeze able to get a roll-up victory over Jackson Riker, as he was then accompanied by the Forgotten Sons, which resulted in an incredibly great shape Fandango coming in for the rescue to prevent a beatdown on Breezy. Now we have Cameron Grimes able to secure a victory over Bronson Reed in the semifinals for the Breakout Tournament, where he is now set to take on Jordan Miles. Riddle announced that he wants to fight Killian Dane now, with the recent events of what happened with the beatdown previously. Shayna Baszler claims that she will put Mia Yim to sleep in the upcoming TakeOver Toronto. Regal announced a match with Candice LeRae taking on the now heel Io Shirai for TakeOver Toronto as well. And Pete Dunne in the main event was able to secure a submission victory over Roderick Strong, leading up to their match for TakeOver Toronto for the North American Championship. In news of Impact Wrestling for August the 2nd, we have a match of Wentz versus Aiden Prince versus Rohit Raju versus Chuck Mambo and Cody Deemer and Petey Williams for a number one contender match for the X Division Championship. This then resulted in Prince Mambo with a brainbuster, followed by a 450 splash to win this. Ultimately, Aiden Prince did take on... I'm sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful. Aiden Prince did take the victory over Chuck Mambo in this one. Havoc versus Johnny Bravo with the Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie resulted in a vicious choke slam to Johnny Bravo, which led to Havoc picking up the victory. Ace Austin was able to pick up a victory over Stone Rockwell, as he then resulted in Falaba going over Moose on the next match with a huge splash. Tessa Blanchard was taking on Madam Fulton and Sami Callihan, which ultimately resulted in no contest. I mean, nobody ended up winning on this one, just turned into madness. The tag team champions, the North, consisting of Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, were able to pick up a victory over the Rascals. And ultimately, we move on to my favorite thing that's going on in wrestling right now. It is that time of the year of the G1. Now, this is, of course, a 19-night ordeal in which we cover day 10 to 13 in this episode of the podcast in an amazing tournament. Now, if you can only spare one wrestling show to keep up with and not everything that's going on, or try to keep up with everything that's going on like me, I definitely recommend during this time of the year just keep up with New Japan, because the G1 is for sure going to give you plenty of fun to keep up with. Now, we move on to the start of day 10, Sunday, July 28 for the B block. Hiroki Goto was able to take up a victory over Toru Yano via pinfall. Ishii was able to get a victory over Juice Robinson over pinfall. Jeff Cobb picked up the victory over Tai Chi. Jay White was able to defeat Shingo Takagi as well, and Jon Moxley was able to pick up a great victory over Tetsuya Naito. Now on to July 30th for day 11. Kota Ibushi was able to pick up a win over Bad Luck Fale. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Will Ospreay. Okada was able to pick up a win over Lance Archer, and Sanada was able to pick up a win over Kenta, which that was pretty unexpected. Hiroshi Tanahashi was able to pick up a win over Evil for the main event of that night. On to day 12, Jeff Cobb was able to get a win over Shingo Takagi. Toru Yano was able to beat Jon Moxley via countout. That was pretty crazy. Tetsuya Naito was able to pick up a win over Robinson. Back to the Moxley thing. If you didn't watch that or weren't able to catch the post-match promo, that was definitely a highlight of that show. Jay White was able to pick up a win over Tai Chi, and to end off that night, Hiroki Goto was able to pick up a win over Ishii. And on to day 13. Bad Luck Fale was able to beat Kenta via pinfall. Zack Sabre Jr. picked up the victory over Lance Archer. Evil was able to pick up a victory over Ospreay. Ibushi was able to get the win over Tanahashi, and Sonata was able to get a glorious win over Okada. I love that rivalry, and I hope that goes somewhere someday. Now, we move on to my second disclaimer. I have to put this on here just because if you got this far, good for you. And if you want to keep on going, be forewarned. This is your last chance for those that are sensitive to anything and want to avoid any hurt feelings. If you have an intolerance for comedians in general, remember comedy is subjective, so while you may not find it hilarious or have it be your taste, it clearly is funny since it's garnered an audience. So please stop now if that's you. For those that have stuck around, enjoy the following clips as listed in the description for this episode if you want to listen to the entire episode, or you just want the source material so that you can go complain to that person. Here you are.
When you hear that bomb blast, get a shot blast. Listen to the podcast, it's all up in your mom's ass. Big J kills them like O.J. Simpson or quick. If the fingerless blood don't hit, he breaks quick by that big dick K. Smith. He all up in your ribs while he talking politics. Go get bit when you rattle by that Puerto Rican snake. They natural born killers, legion of skinks.
Chris Italia just got in a cab and left. So.
Well, here's the thing too. They only have to fill this room and the other comedy room, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were filling the stand 7 nights a week when it was an 80-seat, only one room with 80 seats.
Right.
No,
we're doing late shows for 17 people. It's going to be great.
No, this will be fine. Yeah, we got Aaron Berg.
Yeah. Seller's got a lot of star power. We got muscles.
Yeah, we have a guy in cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh yeah,
Wow.
They give me the
Thanks,
burger.
Adele.
Wow, thanks, Adele. We're gonna be
150,000 Instagram
That's
followers.
a perfect food to share.
We're gonna be.
It's very good. That's a great sharing food.
Look at that knife, and does that remind you of your dad?
Oh come on!
As everybody knows, Lewis's dad was stabbed to death with a steak knife.
Yeah.
The
I'm
Gomez
sorry,
burger.
I didn't mean that.
No, it's okay. Don't be sorry.
I'm willing to bet the knife that stabbed Lewis's father never cut through steak. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
I don't think there's
maybe a hot dog knife.
I don't think there's steak in that neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
That looks good. What is it? A burger?
That looks great.
Yeah, I asked Adele for the best thing on the menu. She said the fucking cheeseburgers.
It looks amazing.
Bananas.
You can't argue the food.
Wait,
the
there's
food is
bananas
fantastic.
on
There's a banana cheeseburger.
The food is very good.
That needs to be a big part of their business plan.
Yeah.
Is the food.
Would you guys like me to cut it into fifths?
No, I don't eat red meat.
Well, really?
30 years I haven't had red meat.
Did you just quit everything?
Huh? No, I still do bad podcasts.
Voss is back. Voss hasn't been funny for 2 years.
What the fuck?
Couple's taking a selfie in front of a dead rat.
No.
And yeah, dude, it's all right. So this is maybe the lowest moment in 20 years of my life.
Wow, this has got to be bad.
This is
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus. Yeah.
I kidnapped a child from Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Why?
I just wanted her, physically and sexually.
Yeah.
No, there's one game at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't even know what the game is, but
called Find Your Father. It's a great game because no one ever wins.
Yeah. But then they have to leave the state.
So
it's funny. Go find your father.
So what's it called? I'm playing this game, and whatever the game is, it's like you have to pump up and down on this fucking thing, okay? And
Lewis, did you get raped at Chuck E. Cheese?
you have to suck on this thing. It's really dark, and
it's a game.
Yeah.
What's the address?
I got 10 tickets.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Oh, look at this.
They are. Yeah.
As you spoke, look at that.
Wow.
As Chris spoke, here they come. Look at this.
Holy shit,
the
guys.
beautiful Adele.
The stand
Give
here.
it up for Adele.
Here,
Beautiful Adele,
Clap it up for
everybody.
Adele. She's very easy.
Give it up for Adele, everybody.
If you want to get laid, hold on. Can I really
Mushrooms,
do
you
this?
fucking kidding me?
Adele will blow you for a fucking.
Just ask nicely. She understands it's an
2
opening
drinks.
of the club. She understands what she has to do.
Look at this, guys.
Thank you.
By the way, we should.
looks great.
This is going to be an ad read for the stand right now because this is incredible
Fantastic.
food right now.
Well, then we better eat it.
Yeah, you guys better. We can eat a little bit. Just don't eat into the microphones. People fucking hate that. Okay.
That's because your listeners don't have food.
Can I have some of your burgers too?
Yeah.
That's
Which
right.
thing? Okay.
What do you need?
No, I'm just handing out plates.
Yeah. Here.
Get one of those. Are there more plates?
Chris, here,
Here,
buddy.
Dave, here, take a plate.
And then I guess there was a comedian, James
Davis.
Davis.
Who's a game show host on Netflix.
Um,
But he's done, I guess he did a special on
He did an
Comedy
hour
Central.
special for Comedy Central.
And
James
that
Davis.
means, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know the guy at all.
I don't know him at all either.
I don't know his shit at all.
I know him. I know
But
him.
is he the dude that actually put her on blast?
Yes.
That's what I heard. He's the guy that put her on blast, and allegedly, like, people now are saying that if James didn't say anything, this controversy would have never existed.
Well,
I don't agree with that because I'm sure somebody else would have said
So
something.
what does it mean that he put her on blast?
He
Like,
put
what
it on
did
his
he do?
Instagram page. He said, look at this. Comedy Central, take this down. How dare you make a joke about this guy's death? And listen, he's not a blogger. He's not a whatever. He's a comedian. So when a comedian does that, people are like, oh, that's fucked up.
You know,
And then all the hip-hop blogs, a lot of people ran with it.
No, but to be
listen,
fair, we
and
would
I-
all say it was fucked up if it was a blogger or anybody
Yeah, but
else.
it hurts more
But
when
to
it's
be
one-
a comedian,
Yeah.
I actually hope you die, and I can't wait to make jokes about
You're
your
right.
death.
And first of all, I'm not a fan, but if Trump died tomorrow, there would be jokes galore on the fucking on
There's
Twitter
jokes
and
made about
internet.
everybody. When
Yeah,
Tupac
everybody.
and Biggie died, people made fucking jokes that week. 9/11, dude, let me tell you something. I was selling comedy club tickets the week before 9/11. 9/11 happened, okay? And I was still selling tickets 4 days after 9/11 happened.
And then you showed up to Ground Zero with I Love USA shirts and sold them instead of comedy club tickets because you're an enterprising young man.
I got American flags here.
Yeah.
Also got Al Qaeda flags, if that's more your style. Whatever you need.
Yeah, whoever wins doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Lewis shows up with a fake donate to the victims fund. He's like, we're doing a fundraiser at Broadway Comedy Club later tonight.
You ever hear Corielli's bit on that?
No.
It's so funny. His grandmother came in town to visit, and she goes, can you take me to Ground Zero? And he was too tired, so he just took her to a construction site. It's so funny, Corielli, man.
But I mean, the 4 days after 9/11 happened, in comedy clubs, the comedy clubs opened up that weekend. That Saturday night, they opened back up.
At stand-up, I was at
Every fucking comic was making jokes. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody, and the audience fucking laughed. And that's how people dealt with. I mean, dude, crazy. If you were in New York City during 9/11, it was fucking batshit crazy. It was another level of like intensity. I mean, to this day I have fucking nightmares about 9/11.
Yeah.
Like buildings collapsing on top of me.
Right.
So to sit there and sort of take out the ability to tell dark jokes, I understand some dumb fucking 17-year-old mumble rap fan who doesn't live in the world of comedy. But for another
They were like, oh, he said, I forget what financial company it was, but they were like, he said he worked for Bear Stearns, and there was no Bear Stearns in that office. And comics were like, got to cover your bases, bro.
Right, yeah.
You can't just be saying things that aren't, you know.
The night when we went back to do comedy, it was at Stand Up New York, and I'm on stage, and I'm talking to this girl in the audience. I go, what do you do for a living? And she just started crying. She goes, I worked in the Trade Center.
Yeah.
And she
Crazy.
just started crying. I go, wow, I'm going to have to find another job. But it was so uncomfortable.
She's like, I worked in the Trade Center and I was crying looking for my office mates, and this guy just handed me this free ticket and said I should just give him any money I had. And I don't know.
Sitting in comics from Comedy Central,
Yeah.
Tonight Show.
So when is Eddie Murphy getting here?
apparently Family Guy's performing.
So this girl, that's a funny joke anyhow, the Vimeo or whatever.
It's a great joke, right?
You there?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had
It
a
was
good
the best.
time.
I
And we're
tweeted.
doing-
I wasn't even there for Louis' performance, but I just tweeted out the video, and I said this is the coolest moment of the year, and everybody got so mad.
Yeah, people got mad at you as
People
well.
got mad at me just
Why,
I tweeted
listen,
the video out.
Listen, murderers get out and people forgive them.
Yeah.
His problem was it all happened during the Harvey Weinstein shit.
Yes,
right
yeah.
then.
It happened at the height of
It
the
was
Me
timing.
Too
The
movement.
height of-
Timing, it was really bad.
And he's
Yeah.
paid his fucking price. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Right now, people are so tired of it. Even like Cosby stories, you're like, whatever.
But
dude.
most of that is, but it's in our business, like that stuff. Like it feels like it's every day because in entertainment. Like Mike, I have a girl cousin. She's a firefighter, right? And she's fucking tough as nails. You know, not a lesbian. Got 3 kids. You know, I just want she's not a fucking
Big
lesbian.
old bush.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking huge, red bush, fucking yeah.
Always goes on vacation with a really close girlfriend. They don't eat each other out at all. But they just like hanging out with each other. You
She's
know,
strapped on a dildo and used to fuck me in the ass when I was 12.
she's a heterosexual woman that likes to put out fires. You know, just a regular bitch.
Yeah. She's a regular bitch. But like she doesn't like the Me Too movement. Like 6 months ago, she was like, what are you saying? Like I was saying something about Me Too on Instagram, and she was like, what's the Me Too? I don't get what this hashtag is. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like the sexual harassment thing. And she's like, what? She didn't know. And she lives in New York City, but she's also the girl who, when we were 18 years old, a boyfriend of her, this is a true story, a boyfriend of hers got too frisky and was touching her and she didn't want to be touched, and she threw him out the window. I swear to God. I'm not lying.
From a basement?
No. The second floor of our house, I'll never forget, I was coming back from basketball practice, and I see policemen at our door with the lights on, and I was like, I thought something happened to my mom, I don't know. And then my cousin's standing there, and there's a guy with 2 broken arms. Just sitting up, a double broken arm, and I was like, what happened? And then Elena, my cousin, was like, I threw him out the window.
Yeah, she's like,
and I was like, what? He goes, he kept trying to touch my tits. I kept telling him no. So when you, like a girl like my cousin, when she hears like what goes on like Aziz Ansari, she's like, I don't understand. The girl blew him twice. I don't get what the point is.
Yeah, she's like, why were these women even in a room with men? Like, she's like, I don't get it. Why wouldn't they just hang out with their girlfriend and watch movies on a couch? You know, I don't understand why they would even go near a penis. I'm a heterosexual woman who likes saving people and putting out fires in Brooklyn. And what's the problem? I got to go to the Home Depot right now. Got to go to Home Depot, and I want to get an acoustic guitar. I'm getting into playing acoustic guitar.
Yeah, sometimes
I love cock.
And sometimes when two pussies rub,
you need to do a sketch where you're just Chris's cousin.
I'm like, I have a heterosexual.
Oh shit! Oh, you guys are cheering for my idea.
That's a good idea.
So, what about? Did you guys see the Aziz special? I didn't think it was as pandery and shitty. People were going like, "Oh my god, did he apologize? It was so bad." And maybe because I thought it was going to be really bad, that I was like, "Oh, it wasn't as bad."
See, I had the opposite thing where I only watched like the first 10 minutes of it. I tapped out, but I heard a lot of people saying it was good, and then I watched it, and I was bothered by that beginning. I think it's weird to just apologize and make yourself this like sad kind of. And I listened, and I learned, and I was embarrassed and humiliated, and there's no punchline, and you're almost like sitting there going like, so what's the joke going to be? And then the punchline was, well, that's not a very funny way to start a special.
But wait a second, if he wasn't wrong, why is he apologizing?
He shouldn't. If ever anyone could go... by the way, not only is he not wrong, he's the one who was wronged. He fucking had a weird hookup, and information that none of us should know is now out there
Same
about
with
him.
Hardwick. Same with Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
Imagine putting an Indian man's fingers in your mouth.
What was the speech?
Oh. Well, sometimes you can't get onions.
What was the speech in the beginning? What did he say? He was like,
dude, I don't
Can you pull it up?
It was just...
I'm not gonna. It's not even being shitty.
It's the same speech Lewis gave at Chuck E. Cheese. Lewis is like, I've listened, I've learned, I'm humiliated.
I've heard people.
I took time. I understand.
Oh shit. Yeah, he essentially was just like, wasn't that the To Catch a Predator thing? They would have, it was a very weird thing because they would have, I don't even know why, they would have the fake kid would always be like a real person that was above the age of 18, but sounded and sort of looked like a kid.
Right.
And she'd always be kind of dykey looking.
Yeah.
Like it would be like some chick, like some 35-year-old chick with like real short hair, and she'd be like, "Hey, just come over and you can totally play with my pussy."
What if a guy?
But technically, he's not committing a crime because he's talking to an adult.
Yeah.
Like in reality, so I get that. Like,
no, technically he's committing a crime, but I get your point.
No, technically he's not committing a crime.
No, technically all those cops tackled him and arrested him, so I'm pretty sure he was technically committing a crime. But I get your point. In the spirit of your point, should it be a crime?
They were always so respectful.
It was dropped. Most of those cases were.
Were they?
Oh yeah, they were dropped. It's entrapment.
Yeah.
And also,
dude, that show doesn't give a shit about
your life.
That show doesn't care about the kids.
Dude, it ruined these guys' lives. Dude, remember there was the one Opie and Anthony fan?
Oh yeah, he was wearing a
shirt or something.
A WoW shirt.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Dude, that is.
Hold that. That's out there.
On To Catch a Predator?
Yes.
You wear Opie and Anthony shirt.
I'm surprised it wasn't.
That's so funny.
It's the
I
fucking
didn't know
best.
that.
Yeah.
There's one that they didn't air because it was so sad. It was just a fat cowboy and he started crying.
No.
I swear to God.
You want some lemonade?
Here he is. Look.
Oh.
It's Mark Norman. Hey.
Oh.
Up wherever.
Yeah. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
What? Wait, where is it?
Watch. Oh, he says it?
Smells good. Alright, I'm just gonna go get something to drink while you finish that up, okay? You want
Yeah.
something?
It's so weird.
I'll grab some water.
Why don't you just keep your
He
hands right where I can
knows.
see them?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is it. Oh, shit.
Keep your hands right where I can see them.
Wait, how does he bring up Opie and Anthony now?
What is this right here? Some pot. What was your...
I would say I'm not SAG.
Yeah.
Come down, you know.
Give us some more volume.
I am. Have you seen the show? You have seen it. I thought you were real funny on Opie and Anthony. Oh, you listened to me on Opie and Anthony?
What did he say?
I thought you were real funny on Opie and Anthony.
Great way to deal with your life being ruined.
Wait,
What a great way to deal with your life.
I thought you were great on Opie and Anthony.
I mean, that guy is in a great mental place to just be like, fuck it. I thought you were real funny on OA.
Dude, so
Anyway, can you get out of here so I can fuck this kid? I love that, like the confident pedophile. That's like, I've never seen that on the show. They're all usually, they know they did the wrong thing. This guy's like, will you get out of here?
Because I think he's like 21, and he's like, I don't know, man.
So
whatever.
none of those guys go to jail, though.
No, I think they
some of
dropped.
them have
I
to,
think they
right?
dropped a lot of the cases for entrapment.
Can you fact check
But
that?
Chris Hansen also too has some shit brought on him for cheating on his wife.
With a child?
No. All
right, well.
No, I mean,
But it's clearly not equivalent.
So what? He's a man?
Yeah, right.
No, but I'm saying he's playing Mr. Moral.
By the way, if
in
anyone
this.
was a pedophile, there's no greater cover than Chris Hansen. Like, that's great. To catch a predator, like he could just be like, oh yeah, research.
Yeah.
Why are you on all those websites? Research? They were like, yeah, sorry, Chris. He's like, do you know what I've done for this community? They're like, of course, I'm sorry.
Well,
We
it's like the couple that gets to kill the lion. Like, he gets to fuck a kid every once in a while to preserve the other kids. Is there...
You want a cookie?
Do they fact check that? Did these guys get let off for the most part?
Just make it up, Bobby.
A couple months
this guy,
probation.
by the way, this guy's been through the system. He's like, not for nothing, but this is how it works. You got a couple of months probation.
This fucking guy looks like Friar Tuck.
He's like, you got to change your email, a couple of screen names, you're fine. You get right back in the game.
I mean, it's
not going to change their opinion of me.
I mean, everyone in Pedophile Park looks like they live in Pedophile Park.
Yeah. Do you hear about the Jewish pedophile?
Oh, so that one just looks like Rich Voss.
I know. Did you hear the Jewish pedophile? Hey, kid, easy on the candy.
I liked it. I didn't mind it.
I love it.
I love that.
This is a whole town of pedophiles. Basically, in Florida, I guess they have the strictest pedophile laws. Once you're a registered sex offender, you have
to live in Florida.
You gotta live under a bridge, right? It's so strict. Like, you gotta be however far from a school or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess in Florida specifically, it's like this is the only place pedophiles can go.
Oh, they put them there. The courts put them there.
It's not. It's a town.
Yeah, it's not a retirement community. It's like
sort of.
Yeah.
It's the most awesome retirement.
I also think
ever.
they live there because they can kind of understand each other, and other people persecute them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should be.
Yeah. Right. Listen, I didn't. Yeah, I'm just saying what it is.
Keep on playing the trailer. I want to see more of it.
There's a lot of people out in the world that don't think very rationally about how to handle us. So you get a lot of vigilantes. You get a lot of people that want to come in here and start trouble with the baby rapers, as they call us.
Oh yeah.
That's his list of babies that he's raped. All right, number 75.
This kid, I feel bad for him because he's not.
I like to think of myself as this angry leftist punk guy, but
Okay, now I don't feel bad for him. 1 second. That was 1 second.
It's Jake Flores.
When I was 6 years old, there was a babysitter that used to do things to us sexually. She would masturbate us.
Speaks of the dog and starts fucking it.
Run, dog, run. You don't want that typical
typical reaction of a normal citizen is, well, we don't care. You know, they committed the crime, so we don't care if they die.
Yeah, Rich. Piece of shit. These poor pedophiles.
This is how I feel. I took away the most innocent thing out of my son.
This is the one chick who gets fucked
These people
regularly.
like rape their kids. It's a bad situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's very negative.
Well, most of them were raped as kids.
And that's what happens. And it's really shitty.
It's actually the circle of life.
It's a shitty cycle of behavior. If only they had gone and sold comedy club tickets in Times Square, they could have turned it around.
Turns out that's
Go
the
back
only
to that
way
lady.
to break it.
I want to see Chris's cousin again.
Yeah. And that's her girlfriend right there. That's her girlfriend sitting next to each other.
I fight fires.
Yeah.
Can I play it?
My son. And taught him things that he should have never known.
Pervert Park. It was interesting, dude. Well,
Can you imagine pitching that to a network? You're like, all right, sit down. It's in Florida.
It's like The Office meets.
Meets Scared Straight.
They tell you that you have to say it. This meets this.
Yeah.
They tell you that.
Yeah.
Agents and managers will say you have to say that in your pitch, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that they really want you to fucking say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is the industry really that unimaginative that they want you to fucking compare it to other shows?
Yeah, no, but it's a cross between Larry David and Insomniac.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's very sad, Pervert Park. What are you going to do?
All right, look, we're going to wrap this one up. Rich is cramping up.
Get Rich another banana.
What did you think of the burger?
The burger was incredible.
Okay.
Well, you
What
know,
did you
like it?
think,
I,
Tim? Go
I
ahead.
was not given any.
Burger was great. Pizza's great. The stand here is a fucking.
It's killer. You
It's a
gotta
great
go.
Is the
club.
kitchen still going to be open?
I'm doing a stand-up spot right after this.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
You get your fucking
Yeah, I
days.
got my date here. I fucking bring her to. It's her birthday. She's listening.
It's
to
her
Pervert-
birthday?
She's listening to fucking.
How old
Pervert
is she?
Park.
Happy birthday.
How old is she today?
I don't know.
You didn't even know. Like, you didn't even ask her.
that.
You didn't even fucking ask her the
I
question.
didn't ask her, but I think it's a polite thing to do.
How old are you, Miss?
If it was your cousin, you know.
She's legal?
She's legal. There she is.
Both, if I wake up with no arms and legs,
Uh-huh.
I can't be like, well, dang, you
Yeah,
know?
but check it out. I get you. But if the cops come to you because they go, hey, we have this on video.
Right.
At that point, you're like, okay, well, yeah, I got to say something now. Let me get something out of this.
Right. If that's your vibe, if you're like, let me get something out of this, then yes, I agree. And I'm not saying it's your vibe, but yeah, then you do that. You go and get your deal, you know, get you a Christmas, a Christmas.
Let me make, there it is right there. Look at this. Perfect. And let me make this point too, by
And
the
are
way.
these black gentlemen?
No, I think that, oh, here we go.
I'm just saying.
Just getting all the facts.
Oh, wow. I like the voice of racism coming from the side. Look at this. Pow. He cold knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
1 kick to the head. 2, 3.
Well, he's angry.
4.
Yep.
5.
Yep. Oh, that guy's almost like a
Now
clock.
he's going to call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
6.
You get it.
Dude's out. Dude's gone. 7.
Gang, bro.
Okay. Now he's going to get the gun.
At one time. Oh, this is like Poirier versus Khabib, man.
He's got the gun. Now he's cursing at him. Now I think he's just filming for Instagram, actually.
He should be.
9. There's 8. Okay.
Yep.
9.
That's too much.
Okay. Okay. Theo. This is what I'm saying, man. Now he gets his hat. He gets the dude's hat.
I think you do 8.
Listen. Wait. This is my point, okay? This is my point. If he would have kicked the dude in the side 3 times, I'm with it.
But that dude wasn't coming. How do we know that dude was going to shoot him in the side? He's trying
He
to
had
kick.
the gun.
But he's trying to kick the Satan will put something in a man, okay? He's trying to kick that out of that man. Whatever that is in the man's head.
This
that's
is the
saying,
Lord's work? That's the Lord's work.
Well, look, man, the Lord is wild.
Oh, my
People
goodness.
think the Lord's lives in a library, baby. The Lord is wild.
This is when your 800 number pops up. And people call to donate money.
No, but I'm
We're
saying.
here for the Lord. Call 888 the oven. 888 the oven. The Lord works in mysterious ways here on Theo Von's podcast. No, listen. If the dude would have broke the guy's hand, if he would have stomped his hand, I'm with it. you ain't ever gonna use this hand to steal again.
Okay, well, let's go back. Can we watch one more time and see exactly what kind of occurs? And the gentlemen look a little darker from the video, and it could be grainy footage.
Why do we have to confirm the dude's black or not? Why does that have to be the confirmation?
Every video of people fighting on the internet is usually black people, I feel like.
No, that's not true. There's a lot of white trash out there fighting.
That's true. It's about 70-30.
Yeah, who's fighting in the backyard?
Actually, it's
70-30.
That's true.
Who's fighting in backyards?
Okay.
Is it black people fighting in backyards?
Backyards is white people.
Yeah. If you want to find the black people fighting footage, you have to look at like those officer the officer camera footage. Look at this. He knocks him out.
Okay, he knocks him
out.
Two.
One. That's the stunt. Okay, I'm with that. I'm done after that one. Okay.
You done after 4, bro? You a little hoe, bro. Let's see a little more.
The stomp kick, I'm done. The stomp kick, I'm out.
Boy, he don't know how to kick, man. The guy has a book bag on.
Okay. Well, the dude knocked him out, dude.
Does he know he's out? Maybe the guy's still talking shit.
No, he's not. This dude's out, man. This dude's out. Don't you ever wonder what he's saying? Don't you ever? Ooh. Yeah, that's the one, right?
Now he's like, yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
That's
with his in here, in his, you know what I mean? The guy can't speak.
And now he's
again.
out.
Now he's out. The dude was out.
But the guy might have still been jabbering, like, hey, I'm going to shoot you next time. You know, you don't know. The problem with a lot of these videos, you don't get audio with them. But I say this.
What would the audio be, Theo? Okay, you be the guy on the ground.
You kick that man. I think what he's trying to do is
okay, go back,
bang, bro.
Can you go back?
Look, not on Instagram. There's no rewind.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that dude can fight. That dude right there.
But the guy thought he couldn't. The guy thought,
No, I get you. No, listen, the guy's in the wrong. The guy's a criminal. Yeah. He brought a gun to a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that dude that punched him, that dude is a fighter. Yeah. I mean, that was a solid pow pow. And and that knockout punch was real. Oh, yeah. Okay? So he good for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is if you have that kind of skill, you trained, you know, that wasn't a lucky punch. The dude had stance. He was ready to go.
He's ready to defend himself.
He's ready to defend himself.
I can't watch it again.
Oh, you can't? Okay, we're not watching it again. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's what some of the comments. Some of the comments, people are like, he made it so he'll never do that again. Or what if he comes back and kills him and all this stuff. All I'm saying is people are trying to justify what the guy did. All I'm saying is that justification just means it was excessive. That's all. It's excessive. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would kick the dude in the head.
How many kicks is in a bullet? Let's figure it out.
It depends on who's kicking.
Okay.
All right. If Eddie Bravo was kicking, I guarantee you this. If that was Eddie Bravo, okay, it would be excessive.
Yeah.
I mean, even
I agree with that. This dude was kicking with a backpack on. He also looked Indian to me. Did anybody else get that vibe? Okay.
He wasn't black. He didn't look black, so he's definitely lighter than black.
Right, but he's he's headed in kind of a black direction, so he seemed Indian to me. All right? So I'll say this. Visually, I'm saying he visually. Now, Indian leg has very little meat on it. We've all seen an Indian leg, bro.
Oh,
if you get hit by an Indian, dude, I could.
What if it was Russell Peters?
Russell Peters got a chubby leg, bro. Nobody thinking Russell got muscle. Dude, his name rhymes with muscle, and I've never once heard it rhyme. Okay.
The views expressed by Theo are not the views.
It should be. His name should be Ristle, because you know what that rhymes with, baby. Gristle, brother. Look at him, dude. Oh yeah, he ain't doing nothing.
This is not a good video. He looks fat here. Why would you show this video?
Because he looks like he is.
You
brother.
found that? Did you put fat guy boxing? Is that what you put in?
Yeah, fat Russell Peters boxing.
Oh man, that's unfair to him right there.
Unfair to what? That's him. How is he unfair to himself? Police and and police are undertrained. They're not paid well.
Yes, I agree.
You're not getting the best people doing, or not. You're getting people that want to do the job, but you're not probably getting people that have maybe, some of the most experience or the best training or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So at a certain point, the police, who's even going to go do that job anymore?
You know what you're saying right now to me is the root of the problem right now. And I'm so glad you said that, how you're talking about it. The problem is not necessarily the cops. The problem started with who are you choosing to be cops? Yeah. You're not paying them enough. It's a dangerous job. Their whole motto is get home.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
I don't know if you ever you ever meet a cop like that. Yeah. This is like a real motto. They're like, we need to get home. Make sure you get home. And I always say, thank God firemen don't feel like that.
Right.
Because they get to a burning building with some kids and help, and they're like, we got to get home. That looks dangerous. So sorry. I hope it works out. What I'm saying is I feel like the cops should be trained like Navy SEALs. It should be 5 years before you're able to be a cop. You know what I mean? And you're trained, and look, talk to any in shape cop. You know what they can't stand? Fat cops.
Oh yeah.
And those are the ones that...
Yeah, they call them fops. They call them.
Those are the ones that cause the most trouble.
Oh, dude, a fat cop, dude. Look, here's the thing about a fat cop, dude. You say something to them, they pop off. Bro,
Yeah, but I would too. If a cop is my size, I totally get why they need a gun.
Yeah.
You think I'm fighting? You come at me, I'm like, hey, back up. You know what I mean? I'm not fighting so I get it. So I just think so they're not, and people aren't leaving like Harvard going like, you know what I want to do?
Yeah. I want to be in law enforcement.
I want to be in law enforcement.
I want to be out there on the front
I want to be on the front. No.
Do you think, cause, obviously, especially in the past couple of years, cops have been under attack. They're always like not only are they under attack when they're on their jobs, they're in dangerous environment, like you're saying, but they get, under attack in the media too.
I agree. I mean, I'm not anti-cop at all.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's two sides of this, and we need to talk about both things. And one of them is like, this is what they signed up for.
Right.
It wasn't government assigned.
Right.
Okay. They weren't like, you didn't get a thing in the mail that said, oh God, I gotta be a cop. And then, oh man, so I'm scared of certain types of people.
Yeah, it wasn't like Publisher Clearinghouse, that old dude shows up with a big thing and says, you a cop now.
Right, yeah. That'd be so great, right? Yeah. They walk in with a thing. Guess what, Theo? You have to be a cop. You'd be like, what? I don't want to be a cop. No, these people actually, I had a friend of mine. Do you have any friends of yours that became cops?
Yep, I got a friend of mine that is a cop.
I've had two friends that become cops that I remember from high school. I went to it, and it was still happening. So, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like this is how the cops are structured, how it works. That's where I think the problem is. I mean, we need the cops. The first person that's going to call the cops is the same dude that don't like the cops.
Right.
He going to come home and be like, damn it, what's wrong? Somebody robbed us.
Yeah.
Call those pig-ass police. They still going to call the cops. So we have to have a better relationship, and I just...
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, some better relationship. It's like, is it better training? Yeah, what are the rules of engagement? If you show up to a place and you're a cop and you're, and you're engaging with somebody, and they don't... Like, at a certain point, you have to, at some point, if it's a criminal, if somebody's committing a criminal act, you have to put, I guess, physical force on them. Will you just leave at a certain point?
No, what I'm saying is this, and this might be unpopular, but, it's like, I think that the criminals need to be the ones to shoot first.
Yeah.
Okay? And listen, I get it, but that's the job. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You are dealing with, listen, I remember working at a school and like these gang member dudes came and was messing with one of the kids. So like I had to get in the back of the cop car with the kid to go identify him because they caught him, and I'm in the car listening to the radio and I was like, that's the first time I had like my respect level for cops went up 1,000 because it was like on the radio, like, suspect has a machete, it's like, it was like all these things it was like all this stuff was, I remember that machete. It was like suspect has a machete and he's like, it cooped up into whatever. And then it was like 10, 15 of those. And I was like, damn, it's just these two in this whole area probably.
Yeah. And imagine they get out, like any way they get out of their car. That's why they probably get out and look around because they're like, I don't even remember what they just said on the radio. Dude, if somebody comes running at me with a knife, I'm thinking I'll get out a cake or a steak. You know what I'm saying? That's my first thought.
Oh, you got a steak knife? Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me get this brisket out.
But it's crazy.
You're just a loving man. That's what that is.
Yeah.
A cake or a steak. I love it. See, somebody got a big ass knife and you like, hold on a second. You like an old grandma. Hold on, baby. You got a steak. Let me go get this cake for you right now.
Hold on. Show up in places that are violent, right? Or places where there's been called that there's something violent happening.
Yeah.
So they're on alert, right? There's probably a lot of people that once they get there, that are like, oh, fuck the cops, that aren't like, don't want to pay attention, don't want to listen, don't want to like engage with the cops at all.
Yeah.
Which probably sets them in more of a fearful mindset. Not to mention that they don't have probably a ton of training. Dude, I remember I went to a place in Toccoa, Georgia one time where they train officers. And it was like this simulation room. They're like, okay, you go in there, right? They have a screen that comes on, and it plays like 50 different options of when you get called into a scenario. So you get called in, it was all types of scenarios. One of them was a classroom. You get called in, there's 6 people in class, somebody's smoking a joint in the back of the classroom, right? It's like a college. And it looks like that on the screen. You go in, and you can talk to the screen, and the people would engage back with you, right? So it was really, and then also, in the corners of the room, they have weapons that are loaded with these paintballs, but that are plastic, right? And so if some of the scenarios, you get fucking shot at, right?
Yeah, but here's my thing.
Right.
And I know why they do that kind of stuff. Because this reminds me of that scene in Men in Black, you know, where it was a little girl with the physics book. That's the one he shot.
Right.
And he had his justification. What I'm saying is you can't just walk in the room because you think the black dude in the back smoking a joint, well, he's the one.
Right.
Well, maybe he got glaucoma.
Right.
Maybe he got a terminal cancer, and this is what he has to do. But you don't know that by just coming in. You can't just judge a book by its cover.
Right. No, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm not even.
Then Ted Bundy's over here looking all cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? you know what I'm saying? You coming in like, yo, what, you trying to holler because you see
right.
Ted Bundy, and then he's the one that wants to eat your fucking, liver. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he got his little spice rack out of his bag. But
you can go get a steak, you know?
It was just interesting even in this thing, and not even I don't even remember if any of the students, I can't remember if there were different races or anything on the students, right? But it was interesting to think okay, one kid is going to cough, right? One kid is going to, somebody comes in the door in the back, like somebody just comes in the door to drop off notes for the teacher. Like there was just so many little things. You were like, one kid reaches for his bag. Now they play it 3 times on the video, and the kid just pulls a book out. But one time he pulls a gun out. And it's just like, man, how much was going on?
So that seems to me like it trains people to go, whoever's reaching for shit needs to die.
It's dangerous, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And that's why they do that. What kind of training is that?
But there's also, at a certain point, what more training can you even have? It's like,
well, I'm saying that's why I'm saying that's why you have certain, again, rules
like
of
a magician. What if the dude's just a magician?
Yeah,
you know?
A fucking dove comes out. What you doing with that white dove? I don't know, man. I just feel like maybe then you shouldn't come in the classroom like that. Maybe it should be a thing where you're like, everybody hold your hands up.
Right.
But I had a cop friend, and I'm not going to say too much about this person, but he would tell me about sometimes as cops, you in the bad neighborhoods, you get to know some of the kids, and some of them need beatings.
Right.
Like some of them need why you in this
that I was constantly in fear of, and it was really equal both ways.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't know. Some of them seemed so in with their own vibes that it's like it was just a risky place for me, and it all could have just been my own fear. Maybe there was nothing to be scared of.
Right. But like you say, perception is, I remember being in Montana. I've told this story before, but I was in Montana. I was doing, the Tribble Run. Tribble runs back in the day. And I'm in Miles, Montana, which is like way north,
yeah.
And it's just like, it's that kind of town.
Nomo,
man.
they call it, yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of town.
Oh, definitely.
The Walmart's the biggest thing in the town. Yeah. So I'm doing my act, you know what I mean? It's me and this other white comic,
They only sell white paint.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
They had to check my passport when I came into town. Like, isn't this America? What's going on here? But I remember.
How much bacon you got on you, buddy?
I remember after the show, this white guy walks up to me. He's a little drunk, you know what I mean? He had that look, and he said, "Hey, man, you want to fight?" And I was like, "No," you know what I mean?
And he might have been homosexual.
I was.
Because a lot of gay men, they don't know how to get into it. They figure we'll punch each other enough to be tired enough to lay down.
Really? I'm gonna fight somebody and be like, "You want to cuddle?"
Bro, that's aggressive.
I don't know what kind of fights you've been in. See, that dude that kicked the dude in the head, that's what he should have done. He should have laid down next to the dude, and snuggled on his neck and spooned him. Don't you be robbing people, your dumbass.
What you doing out here with your little bullets?
Your punk ass bullets. Put the gun in his mouth. How'd that feel? But anyway, wow, this got weird. So the guy says to me, he's like, "You want to fight?" I go, "No, man. I'm trying to diffuse it." Because now I'm starting to look around and I'm realizing I'm by myself. It's me and this white comic, and we're in a white town in Montana. Like, literally, anything can happen to me right now. So I'm not trying to be that dude that's like...
that poor people, I don't care what color they are, man. I never looked, I always related to if somebody was struggling, you know, if somebody was having a tough time. I felt like I've always was in tune if somebody was struggling. I didn't care what color they were, but I never looked at like, you know, like my black friends or mixed friends when I was growing up and be like, oh man, like, you know, their feelings don't matter. Or if somebody was sharing any of their feelings, like I was always more in tune to that than I really was anything else, you know.
You always have that great joke about that too, though, about the black friends come talking about you took all our stuff and you like, where is it? I'm on the, we live on the same street. You know what I mean? I just told.
Well, then here's the crazy part. Now I added an ending to that joke where it's like somebody else has both of our shit.
Right.
They got your shit and they got my shit, and they're watching us fight over it.
I used to have this thing about like how. Like I still have because
you have a great joke about the fart in the elevator, which is one of my favorite ones, man.
But I had this thing about
so good, bro.
About like talking about you know, like I still have friends who are like a little older than me that they come from an era where every white person was the man,
right?
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's that era. You know, if you're like 40 and up,
yeah.
You that's the kind of racism where you like, you out there doing that podcast with the man, huh? Yeah. Like if I would tell those kids, I'd be like, I'm going to do Theo Von's. You gonna sit with the man, huh? That kind of shit.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? You sit with the man. And my thing is always like, listen, if you on the bus with a white guy, he's not the man.
yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like if next to if at work there's a white dude next to your cubicle, that's not the man.
Yeah, that's true. That ain't him.
The man has changed. Yeah. I think that this era of white people, they're upset that they lost their chance to be the man.
Oh yeah. Now I can see some of that.
There's like some jealousy of like the you know of the era before. We're like, damn, I never got to be racist like that. I gotta love these people. Yeah. But that thing you're saying about the elevator is like, exactly. It's like
you have a joke, and I'm gonna paraphrase it. I know you're right here, but it's like you walk in an elevator, somebody farted in there before you. Like a generation before you, and people still blaming like you farted.
Yeah, that's why I say like this is how white people now, current young white people feel about racism. Is like being in an elevator where somebody already farted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the elevator opens up and there's some black people coming in and you're like, I didn't do that. That fart has been here. That far been here for generations. A way of like spewing hatred and single-mindedness and closed-mindedness, and it's just like it's a shame to me.
Yeah, and it's crazy how people can be that way online and not that. And but the truth is, some of them aren't even that way in person.
Oh, they for sure aren't that way in person. A lot of cowards out there.
Yeah.
You're a coward. Most of you.
And a lot of the one thing that podcasting doesn't do, which I think is something that separates it as a news source even than the regular news media, is they don't use tweets and that kind of thing. Like, they'll look at them sometimes, but they don't use that as like the basis for an article, or the like 2 or 3 people with no even avatar said something.
I know.
So now suddenly, Tom Brady can't take his daughter on a vacation or something. It's just
well, Twitter's not as popular as you really
Twitter's
think it
gross,
is,
bro.
But first of all, that's only like the coastal, like these like elite cities.
Or it's also just fucktards that aren't even working, bro. Like, they have a lot of people that aren't even doing anything and just sitting there tweeting. They just sitting there causing a ruckus. You got people there's some lady they had the other day said she had 740,000 tweets.
Oh my God.
Bitch die. Okay? Bitch die. And you got rich people that are fucking rich-tarded, bro. That's what I call it, dude. You got fucking like Cher, and you got like
Cher is rich-tarded?
Yeah, dude. Yelling at everybody how to control the border, how to do this and that. We don't live there. I have some ideas maybe of what I think, a good
name.
Josh.
Josh, I think what you should do is, figure out what moves you, what you're passionate about, and then like stay in your car, drive Uber and Lyft for a little while to make money, to make ends meet while you're going to, that 2-year program to be a dentist or whatever it is that you want to do. You have to do it. Most people don't do what they want to do out of fear. You haven't left that job because you're scared, because you're worried about the things that you have in your life, that you're a slave to your possessions. You're a slave to your rent or that girlfriend that you don't really love. Figure out what you want to do in your life and then go out and do it. and then you find your happiness.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, I think, look, there's some good suggestions, man. If you're at the warehouse and you got the big boss, dude, I think, what I would do is, I used to work at a warehouse, man. I didn't mind it. I like some of the smells and the peacefulness of just the products sitting there behind the scenes, knowing they were about to go on the big stage out front, you know?
Big stage. You
Like-
clearly were robbing the place too. How much stuff did you take home with you? How many boxes did you open up and be like, oh shit, is this olive oil?
Dude, I will say this. I stole one time when I worked at the grocery, I stole a gross of baby food, bro. 144 jars.
Were you out on the streets?
Huh?
Like, you have a jacket, like, you need this baby food?
Oh, nah, bro.
You need them peas?
I
You
was
need
at
them
the
carrots?
house, bro.
Are you eating baby food?
Yeah. Dude, I tell you this, bro.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not, here's how you know you're not a pedophile, dude. After 2 or 3 jars, I was over it, man.
Okay. I don't know if that's how pedophilia works, but
But you know, because here's the thing: if you're a pedophile, you're gonna be cracking into those jars forever. You know, trying to have a meet, you know, taking somebody out to dinner or whatever. I just knew after 3 jars, I was like, "Fuck all of this, man." But here's what I would say, man. Yeah, I would have a little bit of a game plan.
Yeah.
And you'll move when you're ready, man. When you're really, really ready to make a move, I will be sure that the ladies just like you. Man, that was a good time. Man,
is that
bro,
it, bro?
you remember when the Bodyguard soundtrack hit? Where were you, bro? Where
3 places
were
I knew where I was. 9/11, when the Bodyguard soundtrack came out. And now that I've been on The Oven.
And remember that shit,
yeah,
bro?
good.
God damn.
And she just now they selling like
They
tours.
doing it now.
They selling tours to her, you know,
Yeah.
to the bathtub now.
Oh, yeah, and her son died in the bathtub, too, man. It's basically just like a little Narnia. It's like the closet in that Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That thing becoming a real halfway house for Houston.
That's the death tub. Because even her daughter died.
Well,
are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Hey. Welcome to Cum Town.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cum Town. Boys, do you see anything different? Look.
Oh!
It's fake. But
oh
I
my
got
God,
another
you've
fake
lost
one.
200 pounds. I didn't notice it until you said that, but you're 200.
That's
everyone,
right.
Stav
I
is
got
115 pounds.
Yeah, Stav, you look bad, actually. Yeah, dude,
You're
I'm
too
emaciated.
skinny. Yeah.
But
Damn.
look how big my dick is, though. Zip.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Zip.
You just made a pat sound on your thigh with your
No,
hand.
that was
Yes,
my
you
big
did.
ass
no,
dick.
You used it.
That was my big dick.
It was a pat sound. Congrats, bro.
I mean, funny to see
it's really weird.
Stop
Actually,
go on like
I
my
see you have
600
it too.
pound life, and the Iranian guy's
I don't
like,
have a real one.
I know.
The Iranian guy's like, he's come here because he wants his penis is too small. Like, he wants his penis to look bigger, so we are going to cut his stomach off. But first, he needs to spend 3 weeks not eating pizza rolls. So we are going to film him maybe being bad, have 1, maybe 2 pizza rolls, and he cry, and we videotape him cry, and then we put it on TV, and then he come back, and when he come back, we say you were very bad fat boy, but we will do the surgery anyways. And then
Do they have a doc? I've never seen that show.
Oh yeah, it's this Iranian guy. Every single episode, the show should just be called San Antonio.
Yeah, it's all of those gastric bypass centers are in Texas.
Oh yeah, I mean they always go to the same one in like Houston or whatever.
In Houston, yeah.
And it's some guy that's like Imram Nazaradav, you know, who's it's just some Iranian guy that only does like gastric bypass stuff. But he's like this. He's got this like reserved affect, and he's always like, you know, she is very fat.
I remember there was one night.
Stav goes on the show, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get I want my dick.
I want my dick
bigger.
looking huge.
I want it to look huge." And then he loses all the weight, and he still has a small dick. And then the doctor's like, it has been a success, at least in terms of prolonging our life. And Stav's just in tears. He's like, I just want to be fat again.
Yeah, make me fat
6
again.
months later,
Turn me back.
Stav has
Turn me back.
gained back all of the weight, plus 400 pounds.
The actual flavor is holding me back way more than the diet.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah, I'm a peach Snapple guy, and I got a variety pack. I got a Costco membership.
Respect. How was your first trip?
Good, no samples. You know what? It's funny that Costco.
Where'd you go, Sunset Park?
It's hideous even for a Costco.
Stav's Costco is My better. Costco's beautiful. And they have a tire center and a gas station.
I went to the Astoria Costco.
The Astoria one's better than than
How
Sunset Park.
dare you
It's
say
hideous,
it's hideous?
But the view,
incredible
of the city.
amazing.
One of the best views of the city.
And it's wasted on that.
On Costco.
Bro,
What's next
no
to that
joke.
park?
I ride my fucking bike down there sometimes, get me a chicken bake, and sit on the
Yeah.
bench. Just look at the city. It's
There's a
beautiful.
really
I'll tell you
nice.
this.
There's a really nice
I'll tell you this.
museum by there. The
My favorite
Noguchi
pic-
Museum.
My favorite.
Shut up, bitch. You have to tell everyone you go to museums.
Faggot museum.
No,
You
go
guys
ahead.
should just-
What else do you have to say about the Noguchi Museum?
It's a really nice museum. You should go there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry,
Take
I
it.
don't support some Japanese guy who thinks it's funny to
He's
do.
American,
It's an
actually.
N-word.
He's actually American.
Japanese.
He was American. He was born in America.
Yeah, it's
Some
pretty
Japanese
fucking
guy-
racist of you,
Some
Adam.
Japanese guy. It's like, I'm going to make a museum about these people.
He's not Japanese. He was born in America.
I can't stand them. I'm going to make a museum about how much they are disrespectful to me. These goddamn Noguchis. Is that what it is, Adam?
Yes, it's a Japanese man that came up with the Japanese way to say the N-word. Yes, Nick.
And
Yes,
we do
that's
a whole-
exactly what it was. It's a museum of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a museum of that.
It's a museum for Blasians.
For racist Japanese men.
I was laughing at the idea the other day about being
Hell yeah,
like some like upper middle class college professor that has like an adopted Asian son, because they always adopt
Yeah.
some guy that weighs like 104 pounds
Because they wait too long
He's
to have
just all
kids.
Adam's apple and Tevas.
Yes,
and super.
yes.
They adopt, but his like Korean son is now a teenager and he's using the N-word at his dad. It's like, you ain't my real daddy. It's like, Sun Moon, could you just calm down for a second? Me and your mom love you. You ain't my daddy, and she ain't my mama. Boop. And I'm gonna go out with my boop anytime I goddamn please. You don't control me, boop.
Sicky white boops.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
It's white bullshit.
Nah, those guys are always named Matthew or whatever. Or
No,
George.
but I feel like the professor would give him an ethnically appropriate name.
Nah.
No, they would keep his. They would
They would
use
keep
his
it,
Korean
yeah.
name.
They're
at
named
home.
Brian.
Use his Korean name at home.
Yeah. In
But
an
in
even more
school.
offensive way.
At school, he's Matthew, but at home, he's Sun Moon Gumdrop. Whatever his dumb Korean name is.
Sun Moon Gumdrop is a great name, dude.
Yeah.
That's my name.
They call me Two Guns, Gun Blop. Got it, blop, daddy. You ain't my real daddy, boop.
Dude, I miss those Acura Asian kids.
Oh,
those
yeah.
like breakdancing, like
Technology. What if the answer is to suddenly understand their technology?
Fully.
What if we
Yeah.
just
So much that we knew how to fuck with it.
How about the answer is that we don't know anything about them, but now suddenly we know so much about them to the extent that we've exploited a flaw that's not even apparent to them in their own system.
Yeah, it's all dumbass symbols and
yeah,
shit.
they just hacked it like Russia. They just made fake Black Lives Matters Facebook groups. They just confused
Black
them.
alien supporter. Me and my fellow... I love those fake African, like the fake black Trump supporter guys.
Those are the best.
How about a shirt that says instead of Black Lives Matter, it's the same font and everything, but it says Blue Streak Matters? It's for the movie Blue Streak.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It does matter also. In the Martin Lawrence filmography.
Is Blue Streak the intersection between the Black Lives Matter and the Blue Lives
I love
Matter?
that movie so much.
Is that what can bring peace?
I'm a federale. Wow. Turns out he was.
It would be awesome to wear that shirt and just see people like get mad and then be like, what? Like just be so confused with you.
Blue Streak Matters.
Because at the end of the day, you're talking about how much you like a Martin Lawrence
I just like the
movie.
Or how about
It's not clear what you're mocking.
The Family Matters font, but it says Family Lives Matter. And then it's Urkel being shot to death by the police.
By Carl.
By
Carl. Just Carl doing a police brutality. But he's a black cop, so... Makes you think.
Nobody talks about that.
No one talks about all the black people that Carl Winslow killed.
Yeah, what about all the black people the black cops are killing?
That the black cops... That's not a big deal. It's like, no, it is. It also is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Damn it, Steve.
Damn it. Now I'm just thinking of Steve in a Guy Fawkes mask.
Go to hell, Steve.
Smiling while he murders Urkel because he's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Turning off his body cam.
Steve Urkel was no angel. He was often doing
dangerous science weapon, making his own improvised explosives
in the basement. Oh yeah, he was gonna go to college. Sure. He's gonna stay in that basement and try to fuck Laura for the rest of his miserable life.
He was a sexual predator.
That's right.
He was horny.
Urkel was no angel, baby.
He was no angel.
Maybe that's a better way to think of Tamir Rice. What if he was just an annoying nerd?
No, no, Nick.
Every day Tamir was like, "Hi, Laura."
Greetings from Podcastville.
Another show. I try to treat it like just another show. What am I saying? It was good. I'm proud of it. It's going to get me in some trouble.
Good.
I say that some feminists are assholes.
Perfect.
People are going to be mad at me, but that's what comedy is. Like, I can't. We're not here to take care of your feelings. We're here to make you laugh and make you think. And the self-righteous indignation shit's gotten a little much.
Fucking crazy.
It's gotten crazy. I'm going to piss some people off, and maybe that's okay.
I just read. They're changing fucking Halloween.
What?
To Saturday because too many people complaining that they don't want Halloween to fall on a Wednesday, so they want to change it to Saturday.
Who's they? Who are these people?
The same cocksuckers that changed Columbus Day. Leave Columbus fucking alone. But they had to make ambiguous day.
Did they cancel Columbus Day?
Yeah, they canceled them out. And
what do you call it? You don't. It's gone.
Indigenous People Day.
That's right.
Because Columbus killed a bunch of fucking people. Who gives a fuck? It was 2,000 years ago. Were you there? No, mind your business. But I knew once they changed Columbus Day, then they'd want to go for something.
They're coming for you. Yep.
Wait, you're gonna see Martin Luther King's next, and he's black.
Yep.
Fucking Nazi Day. They're gonna do everything.
Yep.
These motherfuckers.
We can't celebrate Nazi Day anymore.
No. So it's a sad world we live in.
Damn.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Congratulations.
Jeffrey Epstein, of course, worth $500 million on paper, at least.
They say more than that now.
Probably more than that.
I'll take a look at that action.
He's in a lot of trouble. He's locked up here in New York City, and as of this taping, this is being taped on Thursday, late July, and on Wednesday of this week, he was found nearly unconscious in the fetal position with marks around his neck. Now, there are multiple conspiracies about Mr. Epstein.
Steve Nigg? Yeah.
There is a Steve Nigg type character he's locked up with that they are accusing him of attacking Jeffrey Epstein. He's
but he's in solitary.
Apparently he's interacting with people, and once Epstein was found, they talked to this one crooked cop from Westchester who is currently facing the death penalty for killing 4 people in a coke deal gone bad.
Damn.
He's
like a Harvey Keitel kind of
he's a bad lieutenant. So they're saying this guy might have attacked
Bad
him.
lieutenant.
Bad.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock.
Get off that nun.
Ooh.
Bad lieutenant. I remember that. Then that's one theory. Another theory. Listen to our podcast. He listened to High Society Radio, and he was pissed that we were busting his balls.
No, we wrote him a nice letter.
I know. So it's a dream, Chris. Who knows what it really means? And so he was blackmailing me. I don't know why. I can't remember that part.
I could tell
Thankfully,
you why.
I couldn't remember that, actually.
Something to do with black males.
But I think we should write him another letter. What do you think, Chris?
Probably. I mean, we've clearly got to clear this up. I'm sure he could use some cheering up in the hospital.
Like right now, he's all beat up. He's all choked out. So let's see if we can't get something out there to him. Now,
all right.
Was there any response to the last letter, Nate Dogg?
Unfortunately, no one's gotten back to us about
Not
it.
even auto reply.
No.
He almost got choked out, so he can't.
I'm sure
be
he
right
read
to
it,
him.
and then he was thinking about his reply, and he probably got choked out. But we gotta stay fresh as much because so I mean, for anybody who's tuning in and you don't know, we've been trying to get a controversial guest on the show.
Yeah.
Ever since the Legion of Skanks had Milo on, it was a whole to do.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, a lot of burn for that.
Tell me about it.
And we've written letters to Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
NSB.
MBS.
MBS.
That's how acronyms work. Then we've also written letters to the Sackler family. We would have had all of them on.
Sacktown.
Hell yeah, Sacktown. They would come in here. We could have been snorting oxys.
It's a good time.
All over the place, bro. Zippity doo-dah.
Oxyrenos. That's my Oxycontin.
All right, then.
Oxyrenos. It's just EDM music.
That's fucking great, yeah.
It's just EDM music and where to buy the best back scratcher.
We're fucking
the podcast is about.
around. Dirty fuckers.
Fuck. Let's get some sandpaper. Just
Oh, yeah. Yo, we should do some dope on the show.
We should, though.
What?
Yes, we should.
So we have to start this. Johnny, why don't you start the letter this time?
All right.
Then Chris
You got
and
some
I'll join.
music? I need some music for my thinking.
You thinking music,
I
Brad?
need some thinking music. Because he's not sick. He's more hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. Well, he's sick in the head because he's a fucking pedophile. But
All right.
unrepentant as well. He refuses.
This isn't in the letter.
No, it's
This
not
isn't
for the
like
letter.
he refuses to cooperate with officials. He thinks he's going to get
Put
off.
the theme song from Cheers. That makes me happy.
No, we got this.
Start us off.
Dear Jeffrey.
Jeff, because we're like friends.
I don't really know him
Not
like
friends.
that.
Hey,
Jeff,
Hey,
what happened,
motherfucker.
bud?
Professional.
Dear Jeffrey, I'm glad that they didn't hurt you that bad, and I hope your neck feels better. Because you're a kid fucking piece of shit. And I hope they put you in jail.
We're trying to book this guy on the show.
Yo, if you talk to them bad, especially because he's rich, they like that shit when you talk to them dirty. They need to address like, oh, you can't
Were
talk
you
to
in
me
a
like
cuck
that.
porn in Ecuador?
No, I was not.
Jeffrey, sorry for that previous paragraph. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I got you. Dear Jeffrey, I feel bad that he snapped your neck, you piece of shit. You like to touch children, and you have dirt on people, but yet nobody comes to help you out. Everybody's worried about El Chapo, but they can come get you.
Oh,
Makes
is it a
you
race
think.
thing?
It's not a race thing. It's just like El Chapo's doing like hard time. He might not even do life. I don't think a pedophile's ever done life, right? They don't make it out the joint, but I don't think they ever get sentenced to life.
That's true.
They did bring back the death penalty today. I saw that. But I don't think he qualifies because he didn't kill nobody yet. So I hope they find your lifeless body a little later. Like the smell is what fucking attracts the guards. Not because you missed call.
But he
It's
should
just
do the
like,
podcast first. You should probably add that part.
Please do the show. We'd like to have your will and testament on air before
That'd
you
be
fucking
great.
go.
Who gets that fucking fuck mansion?
If you want, we'll fucking save some diapers for you, you sick motherfucker.
I don't think you know how this bit works, John.
I don't know. Like, I can't just, like, feel bad for a pedophile almost dying. I feel bad he didn't die.
We don't feel bad for him.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're just trying to exploit
this
him.
podcast you want
The
to
way
do
he
kind of
exploited
makes
that
it. You're
type
kind of like making
young
him a
puss.
martyr. I don't like it.
No, I'm exposing.
Are you
the
gonna
terrible
sell fucking
things he's
Epstein
doing.
shirts and shit now? Like, what the fuck?
This is all going in the letter, you guys.
That's fine.
I see Nate typing over there, scribbling.
He can't be a white supremacist with the name, I'm guessing, right?
Epstein?
I don't think that flies.
No.
Could he join again? There's no pedo gangs in the joint.
Is there a Jew gang?
Oh, definitely.
Is there a media gang in whatever prison he's in?
Shit. I don't know, man. I can't feel bad for this motherfucker.
None of us feel bad for him.
Look. In conclusion, look, we don't really feel bad for you. But we're trying to give you a platform, dog. Come on here. Maybe we're wrong.
Yeah?
Probably
that's
not.
true. 100% sure.
But open our eyes to your side of the
But
story.
once that throat feels a little better, why don't you come fuck with this mic?
Ew, that doesn't sound good at all. Usually we have women write these letters.
You gotta soothe that throat, dog.
Oh.
I don't think he's interested in having a woman write it.
We'll put some lozenges in that commissary.
Wait, it's starting to sound like that bit where we get people to date comics and shit. I don't know where this bit's going.
So Shannon, here's Jeffrey. He's in finance. He could be. He looks like he's doing 40 to life, but he's very
For
well
a
off.
misunderstanding.
For a
That's
number
what
of
they always say.
misunderstandings. Owns his
He
own
can get you into
property.
the best parties.
Yeah.
With the best.
Spending a little bit, And Ralph was like, I'm arm wrestling everybody. And I was just like, he tried to pet my arm, and we just somehow ended up arm wrestling.
You're an alpha male, bro. You don't take no crap.
Making out. And I hurt my shoulder. And I've been using the freezing point, and it works. That is one of the... And honestly, like Dave Smith says, it's the thing that helps him with his neck. He's got a couple bulging discs in
What?
his
Bulging
neck.
what?
The bulging dicks are in his mouth. All right, HSR15 is the code. Infinite CBD is the website. Burnt out, Mr. Smith. All right, I just want you to go to infinitecbd.com, and I want you to see these things. And we'll go to the one before that. It was the one, the Be Authentic one. Yeah, be authentic and funny. Expectations are low. Just like in the actual police work. Expectations are low. We don't think you're going to do Burn Town NYPD. And so there's examples of memes on there. It's fucking depressingly bad.
Go to the one where it's the vial of arrests. Can you just make that bigger somehow?
The one in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. I just want to see that. I want to see what it says.
I think it might be too small.
I'll pull it
That's
up.
what she said.
Yeah.
All right, tip: don't park at a fire hydrant when you have all this in your car.
Oh.
Great job to Sergeant Benson and Del Brokowska.
Terrible job.
First
of all, that guy's got a couple G stacks. Big ups.
Yo, that's a lot of baggies.
Second of all,
got some baggies.
So just those douchebags have all those stims now.
They're on the.
They're all coked up, which means they can find more people selling coke. It's a perpetual motion machine.
Obviously, they're cops. They're on drugs.
Shout out to Jeff.
Bad, Lieutenant. Bad.
And then there's more slides. So they have literally had examples of memes, and then think twice.
3andMe, something history. You guys, 23andMe is the only DNA site that sponsors Tiger Belly.
Yep.
Do you know the reason why? Is because we're partakers. We're participated in.
Gotcha.
We partake. I send in my DNA, and I got a lot of specifics.
And Bobby learned that he has muscle composition of an elite power athlete, and that's what he's most proud of.
I'm 10% Japanese and 90% human. That's what I found out.
Also,
all right, okay.
If you were woke, you would know that. It's a good show, man. So you can say Pseudomonas if you want.
To make you feel better, some girl wrote in and said that she got Pseudomonas from her contact lenses and nearly lost her vision.
Whoa.
Jeez, I wear
that's
contact
serious
lenses.
stuff.
So when you go blind, let us know.
Oh, man.
Also, when you see your fountain not working, maybe hire somebody to take a look at it. You're not a maintenance man.
You're a racist, man.
Why? Because did I say Mexican?
Did I say Mexican? You thought it. I
didn't think Mexican.
Yeah, you did. You did, man.
The probability of him being Mexican is very high. You're right.
I didn't even say it. I just know that when you said I should hire somebody to work in my garden, I could see you with your racist
You gotta hire a Mexican guy to do it because their lives aren't as important as yours.
You are the Liam Neeson of this canyon.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Well, you know Liam Neeson just got busted for being a racist. Did you hear that?
No, really?
Oh, yeah, today.
What did he do?
Oh, you got to Google it. Have you got a Google machine?
Google machine.
Google machine.
What did he do?
I put him. It was bad. It was bad.
Not Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he gave an interview and he said apparently that I don't even want to say it because I'll get into trouble just saying it. Because people confuse me with Liam Neeson all the
There's just a lot of in quotations racist comments, but there's a bunch of videos. I don't want to play the videos. Let's see what they said.
Yeah. This is
see what I'm
saying? It's not good.
He said he spent maybe a week walking near pubs with a heavy stick and hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could ... kill him.
I have a very particular set of skills. I will find you.
No, he said this on was it when he was drunk or what was the context?
No. What it was he was given an interview for some movie, and it's a revenge movie. It's a Liam Neeson movie where you know something bad happens to somebody he loves.
He's never done one of those before, huh?
Never.
So he said that I guess the interviewer said to him, "Have you ever wanted to take revenge on somebody?" And apparently, when he was young, a friend of his was raped. Mm-hmm. and he wanted to take revenge. And apparently, the rapist was a black person, and so he decided he was, going to go and look for black people to hold responsible for this guy. I mean, it's bad. It's a bad.
Oh, so
Schindler.
Schindler did it.
He's one of the good guys, you said.
Oh, Schindler, that's right.
You reference Schindler so much.
He's also a Jedi.
Oh,
Jedi.
Yeah.
Jedis are racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a real life there, Bob.
Right.
So he wasn't friends with Mace Windu.
Yeah, but they are friends, Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And the green Yoda is Asian.
Yes.
So he liked a lot of people back then.
Yeah, but
is Yoda Asian?
I don't know.
I
feel like if I say
almost said
yes, he almost.
I feel like if I wander into this, I'm gonna get into trouble. So I'm gonna
look me in the eyes and be honest with me.
Yeah.
Is Yoda Asian?
I've never seen the movie, so I can't.
You've never seen any Star Wars?
I've never seen any movies.
Good deflection.
Yeah,
Really
I don't.
good.
I don't watch movies anymore.
They're
garbage. Except for Bohemian Rhapsody. Did you see that?
No, I was gonna see it last night.
I cried like a baby all the way.
Is it that good?
Yeah, it's just fantastic. That guy, the guy who plays Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Rami Malek.
Wow.
He's that good?
Exceptional.
Oh my God!
Really good.
Oh yeah,
he's like,
because I saw a clip when he did the Live Aid. Because I'm obsessed with the Live Aid thing. I've watched it because it's post. I don't know. I just
no, you're opposite of a fuckboy. You don't even know what that means.
What is a fuckboy?
What is a fuckboy?
A fuckboy is just a douchebag. Self-centered. They usually take duck lip pictures, so bathroom selfies on
like
Instagram.
all those guys around the Oaks Gourmet in LA,
right? The guys who kind of just like casually just plow through women and with no regard of feelings or any of that. Just a shitty douchebag.
Are
there any of those in LA? There's one or two.
It's got a couple, yeah. But that Oaks, where we live, in our neighborhood, hangout. There is a lot of like weird dudes there that hang out there all the fucking time, right?
Didn't you think when you came to LA, you're like, doesn't anybody have a fucking job?
Yeah.
Everybody hangs about all day in coffee shops all day. I'm like,
yeah.
How could you afford all this coffee?
Yeah. You know who I see there sometimes, and I get really scared? Christopher Nolan.
I know Chris Nolan.
You know he lives in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I know. Of course I do. Yeah, I've known him for a long time.
Call him.
Calling him.
Put him on speaker.
Wait. So if you saw Chris Nolan,
I'd say, "Hey, Chris,"
and then what would he say? Hello,
hey.
Craig.
He'd go, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right. Would you hug? I just need to know what the thing is.
He's British. He doesn't hug.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he
shakes hands and tries to tax you without representation.
Now, is it what? Very good.
What, Ace?
I think, didn't we? Not
no,
the theater, but the ballroom?
No. We've never done that. That's a different one.
I usually
do
about 2.5.
3,000.
2 to 3,000.
Yeah.
I've never played LA though, so I don't know if I.
Wow. But how come? Because you don't like going to the Comedy Store or these clubs?
No.
But let me say something.
What?
I think you would be welcome with open arms.
You know what? I think you may be right, and I think I would do it now, but I'm not in LA much anymore.
Yeah.
And I think I would be fine with it. It used to be when I felt competitive with other comics, I wouldn't go.
Right.
But I don't feel competitive anymore.
Let me ask you that. That's a very good question that you brought up.
Yeah.
When does that leave through age, or does that leave through success?
I think maybe a little of both.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly age.
Yeah, because you still see Kevin Nealon. He's in your age demographic, I think.
He's a little.
He's probably 65.
Yeah, he's like Bob Saget age.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Bob's older than me.
Yeah, but Bob sometimes does the clubs.
Yeah,
or like,
but Bob's a very needy man. I mean,
well, that's what it is. That's what it is.
He needs validation.
Right.
Yeah.
65. Kevin
right.
Nealon.
I'm 56. That's
You're 50.
Like,
I'm sorry. That's 9 years difference. That's okay.
Oh, you think that's not much? What age are you?
You and I'm 47.
Oh yeah,
right?
Now.
You're 56. How dare you, sir? Yeah, how dare you? But my point is that I guess you and I would be in the same demographic, or no?
Nah, I don't think so. I'm like a generation ahead.
A generation, right? That's right.
Yeah, I was doing stand up when it was still cool.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I guess maybe every 10 years or so it gets a little different.
Because I think it would be cool if I called Adam, like the Comedy Store, and I said, hey, Ferguson wants to do some spots this week.
I think he'd say, Ferguson who?
No, he wouldn't.
Really?
He's like, when does he want it? And I'd go, He wants to go up Thursday and Sunday or whatever. And I think that would, just FYI. I just want you to.
I'd be into trying that.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's going to go with my Lithuania.
Well, you're done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Keeps evolving. But I'll tell you why, though, it would be cool, too, because, you know, I think all the comics would love to see you.
Really,
what do you?
I feel like you're
eyes right now.
What?
A foreigner by the Tomas. He has a funky fucking accent.
East European.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
welcome to
yeah. And he's always there. And
one cup of coffee.
Yeah. The gate opens. You walk into this compound. It's fucking great, man.
I wanted Tomas.
What?
Yeah, the ladies do like Tomas.
We have this guy, John Na, with the Hitler haircut.
John Na is
close.
Like, he's like the Tomas from another continent.
Yeah. This is the most Asian guy I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. Look at his face. It's like you could buy like statues of him at like the airport in Beijing.
Oh,
yeah.
The
Just
face
with
of
that
Beijing.
stupid fucking. Look at that face, that cheek.
The face of Beijing.
Yeah. Okay, you have a real chinky face right now.
Hey, no.
Hey, you guys. Yes.
No.
Because I'm Asian.
No,
we can do that.
No, you're not even allowed
you're
to do that.
No, I want to let you know. Yes, Craig.
Stop that.
And your face is flat, right? And your dick is not good.
Oh,
yeah.
Bobby,
Craig. That's what this kind of show. That's what the show's about.
Well, no, I look. Then I'm Seinfeld here. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with the way you're talking. And what's the deal with bananas? They're yellow, they're weird, they taste, what do they taste like? They don't taste like anything, they taste like bananas.
Yeah.
That'll be $1 billion, please.
Do you feel weird when like African Americans, like they, because they call each other the N-word and all that kind of stuff, does that bother you or no?
It's none of my business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I can call him Ching Chong.
I'm sorry, that's none of my business. Yeah.
I'm trying to get I want to have a language and a way to talk to other Asians that white people can't say.
Yeah. What about Mandarin? That would probably
or Korean.
Yeah,
no, but in English,
Cantonese. There are so many languages that perhaps you could use with fellow Asians.
No, but don't you think that, right, Gilbert? Don't you think that would be cool to have in English so that people could understand what you're doing?
Yeah.
And then have them feel like uncomfortable, but that's the way they have their own way of talking.
Wait, are you doing a white person voice there? Is that voice that like a white person voice? Is it?
I was.
Because it's absolutely true. When I'm around, like if it was just me and him here, I'd be like, oh, isn't it such a relief to just use our voices? Oh, look at you, Cracker.
Doesn't that feel good, calling him Cracker?
No, I felt bad. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So then you were also on the Drew Carey show for what, 7 years?
Yeah, 9 years.
9 fucking years.
Yeah.
When you were on the...
It just doesn't make any sense. So if you say like people who have been sober a long time, they say, "I'm great, I feel great, I've never felt the need to have a drink." I'm like, then I doubt very much you and I suffer from the same thing.
Right. Wow. Yes. You're right. And you know what, dude? It's like this, man. Yes, I'm the slut king in here. Stop looking at me that way.
Oh, what?
Because he's never seen me vulnerable before. This one.
You're a racist.
Look at me right now, Gilbert. I want to admit something to the room.
John,
even
take
you,
your hat
John,
off.
even though you're never here. Take your hat off.
Take your hat off.
Yeah.
This moment.
Put it back on.
You have very good hair, man. Yeah.
Very good hair, right? And he's a father. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Are you high right now?
I just got back to the beach.
Okay, perfect. I'll give you a call later today.
I was just very worried that I was about to get roasted by Joey Diaz before I'd even met him.
No.
That I would
Joey's the
have had to kill
sweetest guy.
myself.
Joey, he is so sweet in that, like, if we were, he's not that guy.
Right.
But what were we saying before Joey called it? What were we saying before Joey called?
I downloaded Joey's special. Sorry, I downloaded the special on iTunes, and I just had my iPod on shuffle, so it's just music playing, and then all of a sudden it'll just be Joey like, "So it's going down on my babysitter." It's brilliant.
I might have paid you this compliment the first time you did my podcast.
Yeah.
But my favorite joke
was a joke that I used to be good friends with Jay Moore. Me and Jay Moore talked about privately, but never had the balls to share on stage. Was he ever fantasize if your wife dies? And I've thought about it a million times, but I've never had the balls to take that on stage.
Yeah.
Because there's a meanness to it, but the way you did it was so brilliant because you allowed us to say it before you said it.
Yeah, well, it was one of those things where it was just, the reason you couldn't say it is because you love your wife. So that's why you couldn't say it. But the person I'm talking about, I fucking hated. So it was much, much easier. And then also, you suddenly realizing that the great thing about stand-up is suddenly having these horrible thoughts and being like, oh God, I bet I'm not alone in this. And then you go on stage and you say it for the first time and it's very nerve-wracking because if they don't laugh, you're just a psychopath.
I've done that so many times. You ever cuddle with your dog so hard your dick gets hard? Okay, write that down for me. I might put that in the ad. It did not go over well in Australia.
You think everybody's going to relate to you?
Yeah.
Did you ever pick your nose so hard you come? What? No.
I tried to write a joke yesterday, all day yesterday, because I said a joke to Leanne and she just goes, wah, wah. And I go,
oh, that's brutal, but such a great thing to have.
It was such a great joke. The joke was, the first joke I wrote was, we were having sex yesterday morning, and as I came, the cuckoo clock went off. By the way, as you guys walked in, the cuckoo clock went off. That's why I went punctual. And so, but it was the second time that week that I had an orgasm and the cuckoo clock went off. And I told Leanne that, and I go, that's the second time this week that I've had an orgasm and the cuckoo clock went off. She goes, we've only had sex once this week. I went, well, I know, but... and then she went, wah, wah. And then I said, my wife wouldn't know a good joke if it farted on her tits. Anyway, I farted on my wife's tits one time. I was trying to write jokes. I had a
with the cuckoo clock thing, if it happens a third time...
Now it's associated.
It could become a Pavlov dog type thing.
Yeah, so when we walked in, you jizzed when you saw us. Cuckoo clock went off.
But now maybe the next time you hear that noise, you'll bar up.
I love having a cuckoo clock.
Do you? It doesn't go off at every fucking... It's not every hour.
Every hour on the hour.
Even during the night?
In the middle of the night. It's awesome. It
Why?
is awesome. I love it. Actually, I don't know if it goes off in the middle of the night. I've been asleep. But I love it. I love it. There's certain things in life I absolutely love. I love having a good Yeti cooler. I love having a good cooler. Like a nice cooler. I like having a really nice vacuum. Like a good vacuum. You know that when you go to vacuum, you get excited to vacuum. Yeah. You're like, ooh, I'm bringing this bad boy out.
Decent shower's always one.
Great water pressure.
Good head.
They cancel the flight. I'm all fucking stressed out. I have to go to the other side of the airport to try and book a new flight back fucking home. I'm on the phone to my agent just being like, any flight, regardless of what it costs, if they don't replace my flight, even if it costs, she was like, the only other flight back is in 3 hours and it's $3,000. I'm like, just hover over the buy button. I'll get to the counter. We'll see what happens. Get to the counter. Much to my surprise, they're so fucking lovely. Like, hey, it's our fault. There's another flight in an hour that we're going to put you on for free. It's British Airways. It's a better fucking airline. It's going to get you in earlier. I'm like, everything's coming up slots. Go to the business lounge bit. They give me this business lounge pass. Apology for all the inconvenience. I never do business, so I'm just drinking all of the free booze. I'm having the time of my life. We get on the flight, and it's fucking dead. It's quite a quiet flight. So I'm in the middle 4 seats. Is me, and then a small Filipino woman, empty chair, old man, and then a family of 3, like across the aisle. I sit down, and I go put in my seatbelt, and the Filipino woman goes put in her seatbelt. We both go for the same thing. We have a little bit of a laugh, being like, "Oh, look, guys, go for the same thing." She's about 32, 3. We speak for maybe 30 seconds. I find out that she's flying back to the UK so she can go to Norway. That's where her kid is. She was just having a holiday.
How old are you at the time?
I'm 24.
She's 33. Okay.
Right. So they start coming, bring down the booze, and she's like, "Can I have the champagne?"
I guess Filipinos are hard to age as well. She was probably 50.
Man, this is the one thing I want to clarify when I tell this story is I don't believe this happened and it happened to me. This is such an unbelievable story that I don't think it happened and it happened to me and I was there.
Okay.
They bring down.
By the way, it should be noted, I ate my burger in less than a minute and a half.
You finished?
I murdered it.
Wow.
That's the problem with me. Keep going. Keep going. What do you think of the burger so far, Kai?
So good.
Yeah, it's a good burger.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So good.
I keep losing myself in it.
I know. My eyes go in the back of my head, and I start going like this.
It's the cartoon burger. It's the one that you always fantasized.
I wanted to give you guys a little bit of American experience, a little bit of the LA experience, and I'm so glad you guys hadn't had In-N-Out Burger, and that you got to have it on my podcast.
Not only that, I've been building up to them all fucking week. So this is...
And also, great show following a shot of whiskey with it.
Yeah, right? I know. We just had a jelly shot of whiskey and In-N-Out Burger.
I would never think whiskey starter. That would never cross my mind. I think I might be uniquely bird.
So you're there with Joe Coy's sister.
And they bring. She goes, I'll have a champagne, I'll have a red wine. And the British Airways hostess just goes, there's no one to fight, just have 2 each. And we're like, this is nice. So we drink, and then the food comes out, and we take our headphones off, and we talk a little bit. 2 more drinks come out with that. We're both ended up quite, merry and stuff. I can't remember what we spoke about. I told her that I did comedy. We spoke about that for a bit, and then all the lights go off, and it gets to the nighttime part of the flight. I've got my duvet blanket over me. She's got her duvet over her. And then I'm just halfway through the movie. I just feel a hand coming across over, and undoing my zip, undoing my belt, and just getting my dick out.
The old man reaching across.
He's like, I can't get my seatbelt to work.
Is this not mine? I'm sorry. It's an innocent mistake. And she just starts jerking me off, and I'm just confused and just sort of saying that. So my initial reaction is, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be obvious that
You're
I'm
reaching for the oxygen mask above
Maybe I'll turn this into a threesome. Ding!
Just be like, I'm sorry, can I have another 2 champagnes, please?
I'm going to need some napkins.
God, I want to imagine how much trouble you would be in if you took the exact same gamble she did.
Right? It's like you just start attempting to...
there's a lot of guys that have done that.
No, so she starts, and my thing is I'm just keeping up the blanket up there just so the hand movements don't seem obvious in the dark.
Yeah.
And she's not talking to me, she's not doing anything, she's just doing that, going away. I have a not so proud thought. I'm not proud of it. It happened. I was just like, oh man, I'm like, this is great. This is real good. This is unbelievable. In what world would this fucking happen? Double check that she's a girl. Not proud of that thought. Not proud of that thought at all.
You have to double check.
But I was like, this is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. The only thing that would make it.
Profile that.
Yeah, I did. And it wasn't. I'm not proud of the thought. I'm not proud of the fucking logic. But I've changed. I've grown since then. I checked. She had a very lovely vagina.
You checked?
Oh yeah, absolutely checked.
You went over and felt her?
I went over there, started playing with her for a bit. Couldn't really get the angles right. It's not.
But did you just do?
You never want. It's like you're at that angle. You're doing it with the subtlety of what?
Did you say few when you said
yeah, audibly?
What? Oh no, yeah.
So there's I did it in the way that with the same sort of casualness but respect that a bank teller does when they're being robbed. It's the secret emergency alarm. I'm doing it with
by the way, my brain was racing for the analogy of what you were doing. Of what that was, and I got it. It's fucking perfect.
Just a little emergency alarm there. I then come everywhere. I'm gonna. It's all in the fucking blanket sort of thing, and I have to ball it up.
Quarter of a gallon. Just
I stuff it under the chair in front of me.
You stuff her under the chair.
Your job is done. Thank you.
Just put them in the overhead bins.
I do. It's like when you crush a can on your head after drinking a beer. The second I come, I crush the woman into a small compartment. And then I completed her. She's finished. She starts laughing. I start sort of laughing, giggling. It's all still dark. Nobody's been woken up. Now there's only one blanket between us. She see what I've done. She's like, we can share the blanket. And I'm like, well, fucking, it'd be weird if that was your line. Can we share the blanket? No, that's a little bit too intimate for me. So we start sort of snuggling a bit. She's just lying sort of there with her legs over me there. I'm watching the movie, she's watching her movie. And then about 30 minutes later, and she's lying there, there, legs across. I feel my dick coming out of my pants again, but her hands are there. I can physically see
her
her
hands up behind her head. Like,
her
hands are working the old man.
I can do. They call me Pele back home.
Working the old man.
Double whammy.
Working the old man.
He had a threesome with an old dude. That's what this story is.
No, look, he was 3 chairs away. So at that point, she was just doing it in shifts. And she started with her feet. I've never had a foot job in my life. Man, she gets.
Did you take her socks off?
Yeah.
Barefoot job.
Yeah.
Did you keep her socks? Wait, were her shoes still on?
Yeah, she was
just
wearing
keep
heels. It was
you keep lifting the blanket and spitting on it just because it was dry.
She was wearing flippers.
She had really sweaty feet, so it was nice.
Yeah, she had Crocs, so it allowed just
wait. Oh my god,
between them.
I am fucking. So wait.
With her foot, man.
Can I tell you
wearing boots, high heels?
The line should have been. This was how she would have known she had a sense of humor. After the first hand job, as soon as you come, she goes, "Now I get the armrests." I think sexual assault still is absolutely horrific. But I think there was a period guys were afraid to share any story because everything came off like, "Whoa, what the fuck did you do?" I think that shift has happened a tad bit, where where it's okay to be. I think it's always been okay to be who you are.
Yeah.
I think there was a period where guys were like just keeping their mouth shut because they were like, I don't want to sound bad. I don't want to like.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like there was this whole who was that fucking swimming rapist? You know, the
Brock Lesnar. No,
not Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Slander.
Yeah, Brock Turner. Yeah.
Christ.
After the Brock Turner thing, there was all these. There's people in the media being like, "Oh, now my sons are terrified to have sex, and they're asking for consent all the time before they have sex." And you go, I don't see how any of that's bad.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, oh. Everything, like, again, it must be an uncomfortable feeling, but that's a positive reaction from it. Like, this having an extra layer of, like, I'm going to double check, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, I think what was happening at the beginning of the Me Too was where they were saying, if the woman's been drinking, it's rape, and I think that has shifted.
I think
now they're going, hey, people are people, women are going to drink, guys are going to drink, they're going to have drunk sex.
Yeah, I think actual people who'd gone through actual Me Too assaults would see the people who were like any person that was like, if you have sex with a drunk woman, that's a rape. People who've actually been sexually assaulted are like I find this incredibly offensive.
Yeah, the people that
don't compare what I went through to that.
The girls who drunkenly cheat on their boyfriend and then they put it down to that instead of shouldering the blame of the infidelity.
Yeah,
they're really shitting on the girls who have actually had an issue.
But it's such a small percentage of them.
Yeah,
it's a very small percentage. It's like what was the they had the four-handed condom it opened. Did you read about that?
No.
They had the four-handed condom.
That's it.
So that it was called a consent condom. So in order to have sex, you had to have 4 hands to open it. And women came out and they were like, "Hold the fucking phone."
That means they're gonna bring the bros in.
Are you saying that like I don't know what their argument was. All I know the joke I wrote is there's no way that in a train where it's like 3 guys and they open it and they're all gonna rape them. There's no way that someone's like in a gang rape. I don't think the last guy's like, "Guys, I've been throwing a condom. I don't know where everyone's been."
Yeah, there's some of the stuff they come up with to sort of countermeasure. It's a lot of times it's just companies trying to fucking virtue signal. Be like, "Hey, we know this is a problem." But
virtue signaling is so gross,
and I never do it.
Every show.
Yeah, we were down in there. I enjoy road rage because I'm an idiot, and for me it's like Twitter but with no consequences. You can just say whatever you want and nobody records it, and you can just be horrible and say you can wish death on a stranger for the smallest reasons, and I like anger. We're down to a gig at Leeds, and it's my turn to drive, and the lights go amber, and I don't move off immediately.
I'm sorry,
amber.
Oh, it's like it's about to change.
Yeah, do you not have
dip your cluch?
How many colors do you have in your lights?
We just have green, yellow, and red.
Yeah, amber, yellow.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's like a Rockefeller got pulled over right when they started inventing traffic lights.
Yeah, it's like
sorry, sir, I thought it was amber. We call it yellow. Amber.
The light went teal. It means go.
It's
the crimson light means stop.
Crimson light means stop.
I refuse to believe.
The Kelly Green one.
Yes. Emerald for acceleration.
Oh, fuck.
Ruby for stop.
I saw Emerald, and I knew it wasn't Crimson or Amber, and I said, it's time for me to go.
Go now, it's bloody Jade. It's Jade. It's time to leave.
Jade? Is Jade red?
Green.
Jade's
Green?
green.
I don't even know what color Jade is. Oh, I haven't done a drinking podcast in so long.
I don't know why. They're very good.
They're fucking really fun. So wait, so you're at an Amber Light? You know, that means that you stole a child in our country.
Yeah. Oh my God. Again, that's, Amber Alert.
Yeah,
so there's this kid in the back of my van, and I'm driving a car. If you want the description, check your phones. It's very much on there. And the light turns yellow. Fucking Neanderthals, the pair of you. Turns yellow, golden. And the guy behind me starts fucking honking his horn. Now, I've never dealt with consequences.
Keep it moving, pony boy.
He was they would have been like, can't you see it's Amber? And I was like, thank you.
I'm gonna pass
He
out.
gets it. So I rolled down the window and give him the finger. I'm like, there's your dinner. That's for you.
There's your dinner. I like that.
Yeah. And then I look in the mirror and he's getting out of his car, and I'm like, I've already missed.
I'm going to put a pause in this story. I forgot for a second you guys drive on the other side of the car. And I was like, why would you put your finger in the mid, like out of your sunroof?
Just reaches across.
All the way out the other window.
Yeah. I lean all the way across and start giving Kai and an old man a foot job and a hand job at the same time. The guy starts getting out of his car, and I turn back. I'm immediately like, I've misread this entirely. Turn around to tell Kai what's about to transpire. And just his watch is there. Kai takes his watch off whenever he's about to get into a fight because he's broken so many.
I use shit ones now. I don't think
You've gotten to the point where you was and whenever I did Edinburgh, I don't know when that was, but Ali G was on the street barking. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was in the Ali G costume, and Patrice and I saw him. And
sorry. So barking is a term they use over here for flyering for the shows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just to him,
because I thought you were just like he was doing it in an accent.
Yeah, he's like,
bruv, oh,
bruv,
oh, Julie,
bruv. Dude, DMX is still good as fuck. I don't care what anyone says.
I think that's the problem with a lot of
this is not a fucking game.
There's a lot of
people. I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick
because I fucked a corpse. That used to be one of my opening jokes. You ever listen to? Oh God, I wish I could remember more of my act. DMX's lyrics are so hard. His opening lyrics in the song is, I got blood on my hands because no remorse. I got blood on my dick because I fucked a corpse. You know they must have been in the studio like, Earl, we're gonna cut right there. You just, oh no, put your gun down. No, we got it. You're not gay. Sure. I got blood on my dick because I fucked a corpse.
Well,
goddamn.
Opening line of the opening track of the album.
Yeah, there
was a kind of intro track and then that was the first track.
Just welcome to the deep end. You got to fucking respect it. I
was gonna visit him in prison.
DMX?
He was in prison in Arizona. And I was like, who doesn't want a visitor in prison? I was like, maybe I'll just go visit him and like become friends with him and just see him once a week.
Started like a little relationship with him.
What's up, Earl?
You're gay for the stay, but you're not in prison.
What's up? Yeah. Have conjugal visits with him where he just freestyles to me.
You're the corpse he fucks.
I got blood on my dick because I fucked a corpse. Cut. We're going to stop right there. That was the other joke. The other joke was rappers. The toughest rappers always have the softest names.
Yeah.
DMX, Earl, Method Man, Clifford.
Yeah.
Master P, Percy.
Snoop Dogg's Calvin.
And
then Jay-Z and
Dr. Dre's
just Andre Young.
French. Andre Young. Right.
It's
Jeffrey Atkins. That's Ja Rule.
Just Ja Rule.
Marshall
works a bit though. Yeah,
Marshall's like a secondhand store here.
What was it?
Eminem.
Aye.
Yeah,
but Marshall's is a second-hand store.
Marshall's is like where you get like knockoff brand clothing.
Okay.
So it would be like us having a rapper called Oxfam. It's a big rapper called Oxfam, just shooting bars.
Oh, it's my favorite rapper, Cancer Research UK. Is that his birth name? Yes. His mother was very unusual.
Yeah, Bernardo's. Bernardo's the rapper.
There's oh my God, I've been coughing a lot lately and almost passing out.
Oh God,
like a lot.
You reckon it's
I think
do you want me to WebMD diagnose you?
Because you've been working out.
No, I think it's number one. I think my blood pressure is high. Number two, I think that my allergies have been really horrible.
What are you allergic to? Just pollen.
Everything.